Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Grimm Tales podcast with me and VC Lauren.
That's who we are.
This one is going to be
I do want to make a comment.
Okay.
I want to make a comment. You know that basket? You know that basket you were talking about that you were going to make for me? You know, the bad movie basket?
Yeah.
I'm going to make one for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You didn't? Okay. That's going to be
get into why I didn't like it and everything, but yeah, it wasn't the worst movie in the world.
This is going to be a good one because
yeah.
I didn't like it at points, but I didn't hate it, and I'll get into it. There's certain things that I did like about it.
This movie only got good for me literally like the last 25 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay, I will agree. Okay. The movie's fairly short. It felt like.
And even then, the movie didn't fucking make sense.
No, the movie. Okay, yeah, I will get to that. We'll definitely go over that. But I will agree with what you just said. Where I'd say about the last 30 minutes of the movie are what I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I will get into that.
And we're talking about.
We are talking about No One Gets Out Alive. I don't think this is a dick punch movie, though.
For you. I would have punched you in the dick real good.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, shit. Well,
Pull
I mean, it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
I'd like to say we're even, but you got a little bit of catching up to do.
No, I got plenty in my basket already, but yeah.
Yeah. But that's what we're doing today.
What they need to know.
We are doing No One Gets Out Alive tonight on the Grimm Tales podcast. And if you are new to the show, what we do here is we talk deep diving into films, horror movies that we watch for your enjoyment and hopefully sometimes for our enjoyment. This is a spoiler-heavy show, unlike The Quest. So if you have not seen the movie, stop now. This is your only warning. Stop now. Yep. Go watch the movie. It's on Netflix. Go watch the movie. And then come back and enjoy, because this is a deep dive discussion, not a standard review.
We're going to take the clothes off this one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're going to dive deep into this one, so make sure to stop now if you haven't seen it. Watch the movie, come back, enjoy, and then join in on the discussion. Before you do that, though, make sure to go to the website, nobullgi.com, NOBULLGI.com. Check it out. Get yourself some merch. Get yourself in there. It helps. The merch goes a long way, okay? Go check out our full catalog of every episode that we've ever done on the network, past, present, and future, and anything we do in between, because we might do some collaborations. I don't know.
Yeah, we're always coming up with something.
Yeah, exactly. What else was there? Like I said, merch is always a good. The schedule is very important, because you guys are always asking what's coming, what's going, what's adding, what's being added, what's being dropped. It's all there. Everything, and there's going to be some new features coming soon if they're not already there. So make sure to keep an eye out on the website. Everything you need to do is there on the website, nobullgi.com. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with all things that we do here on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on the website, still, please go over to the YouTube channel. Just do that real quick and then come back. We want you to use both. We have all these options for you. What we do later on in the show, we're going to we're going to talk about the film for the first 3 quarters of the show. And then by the end, the last quarter of the show, we are going to give our review. We have a 5-set thing of four sets of things, then a woke meter, and then an overall score. So sit back, relax, enjoy what we do here while we discuss No One Gets Out Alive. So with that said, let's get to fucking talking.
Yeah, let's talk.
Okay, so real quick, what did you? Oh, not to go too far into it, because we can break down all the things that you've disliked.
Okay.
But off the back of your head, what is the biggest gripe you have with this film?
Absolutely no action for 75% of the movie. There was some suspense, and it was suspense in my opinion. So you got this girl who rents one of those joint apartment things. What do you call those?
It was a boarding house.
Boarding house. Yeah, exactly. A boarding house. And then things start to happen to her.
Okay.
And at first I thought they were like ghostly things. You know what I mean? Which they kind of
They are. They are. Yeah, they are.
They're the spirits of the other girls. But
yeah. See,
I don't know. There was no correlation between. And number one, the thing that got them at the end wasn't even explained. he came out of a box.
Okay. That and I even looked it up because I wanted to see if there was something I missed. I looked it up, and they even said that this movie goes out of its way to make sure you're left in suspense of what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's the problem.
Shitty
While I
thing.
don't have a problem with that per se, what I do have a problem with is I looked it up, and Netflix has no plans of a sequel, which there should be.
So, yeah, for an explanation, if anything.
There either needs to. You know what? All right. I usually don't like these, but this movie actually needs a prequel.
Right. Like, you got a little bit in the beginning of the movie. It looked like they dug it out of somewhere, this box or whatever. It was unearthed or whatever. But then, and then I guess it's cursed and it needs to be fed, is for what I understand.
Yeah, it's like some demon, which I thought cinematically it was fucking fantastic. I love the eeriness of the box and everything. The creature was cool.
And even the creature was cool, right? Yeah. I was going to say that. And that's not my right. The film was filmed beautiful. It was, you could tell they spent money on the cinematics and everything. But it took too long to get to the point.
I will admit, I will admit, and this is where I tend to, correct myself where I'm wrong. Okay, when this film first started, I thought this was going to be a little woke because it really had real heavy focus on the whole fact that she was an illegal immigrant and shit.
Oh, that too. Yes. So they were all illegal.
Yeah, they were all and so I thought that was going to be like the focal point of this, but it didn't. And I was like, okay, and I didn't mind. It was part of her story, and you know what? It's fine. That's okay. Yeah. I didn't have any problem with that. It's fine.
They didn't go into why immigration should be allowed or none of that nonsense.
Yeah, they weren't making it the focal point. They weren't like, oh, immigration is immigration. It didn't focus on it. We already know that people legally cross the border, blah, 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 blah. That ain't nothing new. So having a movie that focuses on that, again, is no different than having a gay character in a movie. I have no problem with that, as long as you don't beat me over the head with it, right?
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I actually... All right, I will admit this. For about half of the movie,
okay,
I was adjusting my new phone because I was somewhat bored.
Wasn't keeping your attention.
No, it wasn't. I was peeking back and forth. It was very boring. It wasn't until you seen the first ghost with the glowy eyes and shit.
Yep.
That I thought was cool. I was like, oh shit, it got my attention. I'm like, okay.
And the shadow of the older female just standing behind her.
Like standing behind her shit. Like, that was cool. Now, I will say this. This movie is supposed to be where I have the information because I was curious about this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This was supposed to be in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
I felt like this was European.
It didn't have that slightly. I mean, without it being the same hostile vibe to it, like
it felt like that,
of movie.
But the train. I have never seen a train like that. Have you?
No, not open concept.
Like the straight open like a snake.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how trains are in Cleveland. But I've never
been to Cleveland, so I can't talk.
Yeah, I've never. That's one of the few states I've never been to. I've never been to Cleveland. Never had a reason to go. So I don't know. Maybe that is how Cleveland.
That's how they do it.
but I've never seen a train like that. So I felt like this was like European. Plus, everybody in here was like kind of, except for the two guys, everybody had like an accent.
Slightly, I noticed that even the girls, like they tried hard to sound American, but I think they were Latina. I think that's probably why they
most of them were, but no, it's not even like the guys, even like they were all. I don't know. It just felt weird. I didn't get that. But now here's the thing.
I can tell you.
Go ahead.
Another thing I didn't like about the movie is that, we get the first character, the guy that's renting out the apartments, right?
Yeah.
And I really thought, which is neat because they introduced the real bad guy like towards the middle of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole time I thought it was
Red,
the landlord guy. Yeah, the first guy in there.
Yeah, his name was Red.
Red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing.
Red had a brother.
You know what? Okay, it's like you felt somewhat sympathetic for him for at least I did at some parts. You thought he was going to turn around. You thought he was going to become good. I actually thought. You know what? You know what I didn't like about this? I will tell you one thing I didn't like. I would have liked this. I thought this movie was going into this one of those directions where the bad guys win type situation, right? I felt like, because I thought she was going to die, especially when she found out she was in a delusion and she was laying there.
If you think about it, the two guys, they didn't win.
Well, no, they didn't die, and they became ghosts in the house.
And themselves, right? But if you think about it, the creature actually did win.
Oh yeah, no, sure. Yeah. But I thought like, but the villain, I mean, the protagonist of the film still landed up being the victor. And I like, I occasionally I like those old school horror movies, like those Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies where everybody dies.
Yep.
That's like the classic, like no one survives situation. I thought that's what this movie was. And I did like the gothic undertone of this film. It was a very quiet, very atmospheric film. I did appreciate that
movie. Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing was filmed in like a blue tint.
Yeah.
Even when they were outside, it was neat. Yeah.
Like even it felt like I don't know what ghetto they were in. I guess whatever ghetto in Cleveland. I didn't even know there was hardcore ghettos in Cleveland, but I guess it's a major city.
It's Ohio. They have a lot of major.
Yeah, but Ohio's got a lot of country too, so
they do.
Or open fielding. So I was like, I don't know. It's weird. Again, Ohio's not one of those states.
Every city has a special place.
Well, that's the thing. I've passed through Ohio, but I've never actually stayed in Ohio, so I have no idea what the fuck really is in Ohio.
And I understand why the brother didn't turn, because I think in a way he was also afraid of his bigger brother.
Oh yeah, I mean, did you see his big son of a bitch?
Yeah, he was huge. He was obviously aggressive.
Let me tell you something.
Demanding.
Let me tell you something. He would have walked in the room and said, "Open your mouth." I'd have been like,
"Yes, sir."
Okay, sir.
Right away.
Like,
yes, sir.
Questioning everything, like, God, what is he going to put in my mouth, right? But he just comes in, "Open your mouth." I'm like, oh.
Yes, sir. Right away.
Like,
or whatever. Just
there is a hierarchy, okay? I'm a pretty masculine guy, all right? But it's like there's certain guys in this world that I wouldn't pick a fight with, like Andre the Giant, right? Like, you wouldn't pick a fight with Andre the Giant. That's like he's higher on the food chain than I am, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
so this guy, he's up there.
Big.
Big, tall, bald, scary bastard. Someone you don't want to be in prison with.
No.
He's taking your ass.
Yeah. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh God, it's a fucking buffet of your ass. All right, he's taking it all.
So I got that part. See, I watch the and I understand Spanish too, but I don't like movies who have too much subtitling. Luckily, I watched the descriptive version because I'm visually impaired. Everybody knows that. So it gets read to me, right? But if this was a different language, it would have been too much reading, in my opinion.
No, I'll here's the thing. I will actually come at you on the other side from that. I don't do none of the shit you do. I had subtitles on, yes, but I don't do descriptive or any of that other shit.
Oh, I do.
So I had to sit there and read what the fuck because I didn't understand. Like I understand some of it. Here's the other thing. Some of it was in Mexican. Okay. And there is a difference.
You just offended a whole...
No, but here's the thing. There is a difference between Mexican and Puerto Rican.
Dialect.
Yeah,
you're right.
And I don't understand some Mexican. I don't. I understand more Puerto Rican than I do Mexican. And this was and this was primarily in Mexican, and so I didn't understand a lot of it. Like not all of it, but there was parts that I didn't understand. Yeah, so I had to read.
Yeah.
And I hated that.
I don't know. I hate movies that force you to read too much. Luckily, like I said, it was in Spanish, so even if I didn't have the descriptive version on, I still would have understood it.
Oh no, I almost turned it off.
That's what happens to me if it's like Chinese or something. Forget it. Mandarin.
There is a lot of amazing movies that are in other languages, right? Mm-hmm. But if they don't have and everybody says, "Oh my God, they're not the American dubs ruin it." I don't care. If it's not American dub,
hear it in English.
Yeah, if it's not American dub, I can't watch it.
Yeah. And it's not being racial or nothing. It's just simply that I don't want to read.
I can't read and watch at the same time. It's not like I need American dub.
It literally will destroy a movie for me. I don't care how good the movie is, but if I have to say, that's why I didn't do that whole that whole Jesus Christ movie.
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, I couldn't do that movie.
Well, actually, okay, go if you want to talk Mel Gibson, because Mel Gibson has a big deal with doing movies like that. Because he's the one who did Passion of the Christ. Do you ever watch Apocalypto?
That's another one I believe that is very, very
No, the whole thing is in like a dead language. It's in
a different language, or
like
whatever.
Mayan, like some Mayan language or some shit.
I don't know what it is, but I wasn't willing to read.
It's some native language. I can't remember, but it's a dead language, and they did the whole thing in that. I did watch it. I did watch Apocalypto, and visually, it was a great movie. But I still don't understand. I understand half the movie.
Yeah, I missed too much. That's why I hate that type of stuff. Yeah, literally hate too much.
The guy, I forget his name. Oh my god, he was a great martial. He's still a great martial artist. He did The Protector and shit like that with the elephant and shit. They were all in Taiwanese, and I love the movies. The movies themselves were great, but I didn't get the story because I wasn't going to read the subtitles.
Yeah.
So I usually avoid. Like, I almost turned this movie off because I thought it was going to be like, because it started off and like the first 10 minutes of the movie are in another language.
Yeah, it's all in Spanish.
Yeah,
I know.
And I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to damn it.
This is one of these fucking movies.
Yeah, but luckily, I mean, there was more. Okay, there was more than it needed to be.
English,
no. I was gonna say there was more. There was more foreign language in this film than English, unfortunately, and that really pissed me off. Yeah. Luckily, there was enough English-speaking language in it that I understood.
It was more. It was balanced. I guess it was like equal Spanish, equal English.
Yeah.
But still, like I don't want no foreign language. I'm sorry. I just want English. That's,
If it's a the world we live in now, everybody speaks different languages, and I'm not shitting on that Spanish movie. But if you want me to watch, like, if you make a Spanish movie and you think it's a really good movie, it has to have English dub. Has to.
Yeah.
If there is no English dub, or that at least they tried to speak English, then I can't watch it. It's not against the movie. It's probably, like, for example, there's a new Godzilla movie, not the American Godzilla movies, not the like the Godzilla Kong movies and all that shit.
A new Japanese movie?
Yeah, there's a new Japanese Godzilla movie that's just called Godzilla -1 or some shit. And I'm like, I'm a big Godzilla fan.
Yeah,
but I won't watch it because it's all in Japanese, apparently.
Yeah.
And I can't do it.
Either put on descriptive, which will read it to you, or wait for an English dub.
That's the thing. I don't want it in descriptive because that descriptive would annoy the shit out of me. I've seen our friend do it, and that I don't want, like, that. That's like somebody talking during a movie.
Yeah, like in this movie, the dark ghost appears behind her.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
I got used to it. I like it.
So you got to remember, like,
it allows me to understand the movie deep, because there's certain scenes I may not be able to see well if it's dark or whatever. So,
well, see, that's the thing for me. Like, I've over the years, I understand, like you and a handful of other people that we know, you guys have taken advantage of the accessibilities that have been given to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I have spent my life on the opposite end of the spectrum, because going the opposite
in the fully sighted world. Yeah,
because it's like, for one, like, there's things I prefer, like doing graphics. I don't want to blow my computer up and all that other bullshit, because I got to do graphics, right? So I have to see it in pure high definition. My phone, I don't want my phone talking to me and all this other crazy shit on a regular basis. I only want it talking to me when I want it to. My movies, I definitely don't want my movies talking to me. No, not at all.
The dog runs across.
I did it once because I wanted. A friend of our mutual friend was talking about it, and I was like, I want to see what this is about. So I watched a movie in it.
You train. You do it a bunch of times. You train your brain.
I don't even. That's the thing. I don't even want to. It would annoy me. Like I said, it's just like a person talking during a movie, and it makes me want to punch it. Like, but no, I don't know. Like that I didn't. I don't know.
I wasn't a big fan of that. But.
No, I wasn't a big fan of it. I will say one of my bigger gripes with this film. Okay, there even at the end, there is little to no story in this film.
Well, right. See, that was my problem. Like, okay, there's a girl that moved into a house, and she's starting to see ghosts, but you don't know why. All you know is that there's sounds coming out of the basement. They don't get to that till like literally the end. All right, I don't know. It was just, I don't know, too slow for me. That was another problem with me.
The first half of the movie focused on her being an illegal immigrant and trying to be. Which, here's the thing: she needed a specific ID, right? For whatever reason.
She lied. Because she lied. She lied to her family. She said she was from Texas when she, I don't know. That's what I understood in Spanish.
She lied to her family.
The people that she was around the table with.
Yeah, which I still don't know who the fuck they were.
They were just relatives. and they were going to give her a job, but she needed a state ID, and she didn't.
Okay, I must have missed that in the subtitles.
Came from. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the problem. See, I understand Spanish, so I got it all right. If I didn't, all that would have been missed. And
yeah, that's where I was like, I didn't understand none of that.
Movie.
I didn't. Now I wanted to she okay. I get it. Okay. All right. I won't even be that hard on it. She's an illegal immigrant. Which I mean, come on. If you're from Mexico, you know people are shady, right?
Right.
Like that's not even a slate. That's not even a shot at Mexicans. If Mexicans do things a little,
they have to be because they don't want to get caught by immigration.
Exactly.
So, they do
so why the fuck did she? She just met this lady.
Oh, the black girl.
I think she was like African or something.
Yeah. Robbed her basically.
Gave her money, and took off. Like,
yeah.
Really? Like you didn't think that was going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep, got robbed,
and everybody working there is all under the table and shit, so nobody's documented. Like, come on, come on.
Yep.
Like that, I thought was stupid. Like you have to have a little more common sense than that.
Absolutely, especially if you have the way of tracing. All she had was her phone number. Because
Did
nobody had it.
at any point, I gotta ask the question because I felt a little weird.
Okay.
At any particular point in time, did they ever say how old this girl was?
No.
I'm assuming she's got to be over 18. She's living on her own, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. 20-something looked like.
Okay. She looked like she was in her early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very slammable.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was actually praying for a fucking nudie scene at least. That would have made the movie much better.
Like,
that whole shower scene would have
worked. Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. I was like, oh, the dog came out of me. The dog came out of me. I'm not going to lie.
Yes, sir.
It didn't happen.
This movie much better.
Didn't happen.
No, not at all.
But I will say, she was.
And here's the problem, right? That fucked me up. The whole shower scene. There was a sign was blinking, so there was a camera, right?
I didn't see anything blinking. I heard the noises coming from the drain.
I heard the noise, but in the center, I kept seeing like little white.
I think I know what you're doing. That was a reflection from the water going down, dude.
Was it? Okay. So, yeah, okay.
The emphasis on that scene was the fact that the sound was coming through the pipes from the basement.
Okay.
Because she heard that. That's when she heard the screaming. She heard this. Because when the water was running, she couldn't make out what the noise was. And then she turned the water off, and that's when it cleared up, and you could hear that's when she freaked out. She's like, yo, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I hear people screaming.
I even got excited when I saw the Russian girl behind her, the blonde girl. Yeah, because, that would have been a nice, sexy lesbian scene.
Okay, I didn't go that far. I was like, okay, it's gonna. She's about to get.
Oh shit!
She's about to get that ghostly D.
I don't know, but the Russian girl was looking at her through the curtain and everything. Obviously, she wasn't there. She was a ghost. But
yeah.
Oh shit! It's gonna get sexy. No.
Here's the thing. But here, all that shit started like halfway through the movie.
Yeah. Even longer, I think. It was like 3/4 in. Like,
no, I would say the last 30 to 40 minutes of because the movie was about an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
So I would say about the first 40 minutes of the movie were just very slow.
Very. And then the last 30 were heavy. And and that's when the movie became somewhat interesting.
No, it's when you started seeing the ghosts. And the graphics for the ghosts were really well done.
Yeah.
Like the glowing eyes and shit. I've never seen. It was really eerie looking. I'm like, that's cool.
I think in one shot they faded away. That looked good.
Yeah, no, that was good. Again, the weird. What was it? I actually have a document. I actually have some documentation on what the creature was. Well, no, it says what its combination was.
You know what it looked like? It looked like a creature with hands for legs and in regular hands.
It says it is a gigantic moth spider hybrid with long arms, a set of human hands, and a false face that hides its toothy mouth. No one gets out alive is a socially conscious horror that gives viewers little insight into the nature of the creature.
That it do. It don't give you nothing.
Dude, you know what I really want to know? You know what I want to see?
Mm-hmm.
What would really, really, really get me going? Okay? I want to see what's on the other side of the box.
Right.
I
Take us in. Like, let's do a prequel, or even an after, and take us into the world. Take us into the box.
I want to know what that world is, because that looked creepy.
You know, when we did that other movie, we wanted to learn about the Nether or whatever it was, the Farther or whatever, the Farther. Same thing. Like, take us into those worlds.
Absolutely.
I forget the name of that movie.
That's a movie I want to watch. Because that's like some Hellraiser shit.
Yeah.
Like, take me into that world. I want to see into that world. Dude, I wasn't expecting them to do the long corridor inside the box.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was just going to be a box and they didn't show you what was inside. But then they showed you the long, dark corridor, and I'm like...
Yeah, like, dude, I wonder what's at the other end.
I want to know. I want to, like... You know what? Okay, if this was me, again, if this was me writing the script for this, I would have said, okay, I don't know why. I don't know why I would have done this. Like I said, it would take me time to write this in. But this is, I would find a way to write this in. Somehow, she has to escape, and the only way to escape is through the box.
Yeah, right.
So she's got to climb into the box.
To the other end, the other world side, and then there's,
Yeah, I would find a way to write that into the script, and that would have been that would have been the last 20 minutes of the film right there.
Yeah, right?
Like,
and then at least it's not much, but we get a glimpse of how it looks on the other side. Don't give me no fog and blue lighting.
No.
See things.
I want to see this. I want this to be like some of the horror games that I have. Where, like, dude, I have this one horror game. It's you basically go to hell, right? And it's all like these mutilated BDSM sex things.
Nice.
Like you'll have this thing with with 4 titties, and then the chest is split down, and it's got an alligator mouth at the top, and it's weird. It's really weird. But that's what you think when you think of hell. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's really like fucked up mixtures between mutilation and sex.
I mean, yes, because obviously this creature didn't come from no place nice. So,
like, think of it like Hellraiser. Hellraiser is the same. Like, Hellraiser basically was a mixture between like body mutilation
like
and fucking and BDSM and shit. That's what it was. Yeah. Like, they got off. Like, the Cenobites got off on their pain. That was a sexual thrill for them. So there was a mixture between pain and sex, right? And that's like, when you think of hell, that's a really good depiction of hell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know why, but yeah.
Like, decrepit and corpsey looking and
like, oh man. I don't know. Like, you know what I think? I think this year is going to be a good year for horror.
I think so.
Which is going to be great because we're not going to benefit it from this season.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to benefit it next season. I think we're going to have a lot because there's a lot going on. Even in video games, there's a lot of things going on with horror. There's Alone in the Dark. There's a remake. They've completely remade Silent Hill 2, which looks fucking amazing. Yeah, it looks really amazing. So I think on the movie and game side, I think we're going to get a bunch of movies in 24 that are going to benefit season 3. I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, we're getting Terrifier 3 in this year. We're not going to be able to do it for this season, but we will have it for season 4. Like, that I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to have to go to the movies to see that I'm going to the movies to see that. Absolutely. 100%. But no one will go with me. I'm probably going to have to go with my daughter. And
I mean,
because my daughter's the only one.
We're doing that bitch as soon as it comes out.
As soon as it comes out that week.
Oh yeah, so that's most likely a theater one.
That's gonna be a theater one, and
I am gonna double check if Hulu does that bullshit with their release. I mean, Peacock or whatever. If they do that next day shit or whoever's carrying it,
I think this is gonna be another. I think me and my daughter are gonna because me and my daughter really enjoy. Even though I wasn't too crazy about the Five Nights.
If the show falls on the night of release, then I'll do it the day before. Yeah, but
that's what like I don't necessarily know exactly, but I liked the fact that me and my daughter did go to see Five Nights. So
it is a gathering thing.
Yeah,
so,
I wouldn't mind going. I wouldn't mind going to see Terrifier 3 with my daughter. I wouldn't mind it. I still got to get her to watch 2. She's only seen 1, so I got to get her to watch 2, and then maybe I'll probably get her to watch 2. before 3
Sure,
comes out.
definitely need to do that before 3. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But no, but that's all next season. That's all next season. We're not gonna be able to do none of that shit this season. Now I will say one of the other things I hated about this film, and this is not a direct hate towards this film. I hate, this is more of a dislike towards Netflix.
Okay.
We have no financial information for this film.
Yeah, that always grinds my gear. They all do it.
Netflix is majorly atrocious. This is like
notorious.
Netflix is the main one. Like I can sometimes find stuff for Hulu, sometimes find stuff for I was going to say Nintendo.
Because
Disney.
Knowing that, right, but knowing that information helps us determine whether it was a success or not. Right now, we don't know. We don't know how many people stream this.
We really can't go based off of the streaming, so I won't go. I could deal without. I could deal without the financial information, right? Because you're not really going to make money. You can't give me direct information off the streaming thing because you're not. People aren't paying for that film; they're paying for the service as a whole.
No, and then Netflix has like 4 out of 5 stars or whatever. I can't believe them. I want to know from an outside source. Yeah.
Now, what I would like them to do is release the financial information of the budget, because that helps me decide whether or not they did a good job with the budget.
Yeah.
And it's film.
Right now we don't know.
No.
It looked expensive.
It looked expensive. Yeah. No, this was not. This was not a cheaply done film.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. And if it was a cheaply done film, bravo.
And it did a great job. Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't give an adequate. I have to go off of a guess when it comes to that.
Right.
And the fact that here's the thing, we probably won't get a sequel because Netflix is really notorious with that.
Terrible. Yeah.
Like especially with horror. Like how long have we been waiting for the final fucking chapter of Stranger Things now? What, 3 years?
Yeah, dude. Last season was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
Like I did read that that's supposed to be coming soon.
This year at some point, but it's like
Halloween? Like fuck.
Yeah, right?
Like but that's how it's always been. That's not a new thing for Netflix. Dude,
no, they've always been doing that.
This show came out in the late 2010? I mean late 2000s, like 2008 or some shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
and you literally get a season every 2-3 years.
Yeah, there's only been 6 seasons of this motherfucker, and this show's over 10 years old.
Yeah.
When that show came out, 11 was a little girl, like little girl and shit. Now she's she's actually a grown ass adult. It's like, but we've only gotten so Netflix is notorious, and they've done other things like that too. They've done plenty of shows, especially when it comes down to the horror rate.
Shows that they ruined and everything. Yeah,
they got a notorious rep sheet of that. So I don't know. I don't know. The fact is, we probably won't get a sequel for this, and the reason I say that is this film came out in 2001.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I doubt it.
Now again, I don't want to sit there and say guaranteeably no.
And I don't think a movie like this would actually have the fault to unfortunately.
No, this is a very niche. You know what I actually do hope. I do hope that because this is such a a very niche movie, maybe we promote people. I do want people to watch this. I do. I think it's worth a watch because I think there's a good story.
Well, see, that's the thing. This type of movie can do real well if it's just done right. This movie, they just said, you know what, we're gonna just bullshit 45 minutes and then really give the audience something real good at the end. That's what they did with this.
No, absolutely.
A little more would have been more exciting.
And there is a really good story here. There absolutely is.
Yep.
If they dived more into this and they gave us more, there is absolutely a good story here.
How the guy became possessed. The only thing I can think of is the same way that before she stepped out the door, she herself became possessed. Like no. She didn't get possessed. It looked that way.
No. What happened was combined. She was all beat the fuck up, cut up, had broken leg, and all that other shit. What happens is when you feed the thing, it heals you. And
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So now, so in a way,
he was sick. What happened was he was sick, right? So he probably had I don't know, he was coughing and shit. So he probably had cancer.
Fixed himself at the end. I remember that.
So what happens is the reason why he got addicted to it was is because every time he was get sick, the thing would heal him. So he just kept killing and killing to keep getting healed. So basically, it could keep you, if you just keep feeding this thing, you'd live forever.
Yeah. So
there's an interesting question. Okay, so here's a good concept for you. Okay, let's say if you were faced with here's the good one. I want before we get into the scorings, I want to end it. I want to play. Right? Yeah. If you were in that situation, right, and you found out that you could fix all your ailments, right, any ailments you have now, you could fix all those, right, and you could continuously be fixed. Like you could do all the worst shit, eat all the worst foods, eat all the fucking go out and bang dirty bitches, do all kinds of weird shit, right? And then all you got to do is sacrifice some motherfuckers to this thing, and you just get healed.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one because I don't know if I can bring pain upon somebody else or myself, but
here's the thing.
We all say shit like that until we're faced with the situation.
Think about it though, right? You're not okay. So I'm gonna get really devil's advocate, okay? Because they okay. They even said it. They said, "Don't fight me because if you fight me, you make it worse." So technically, all they were doing, really, I'm not saying they were innocent. All I'm saying is they weren't really as long as the girls cooperated, all they were doing was no. But if they would have, all they would have done was just strap to the table and get fed. Yeah, they wouldn't have got beat. They wouldn't have got hard or any of that other shit. They wouldn't have got none of that. Okay, they would have just been carried to the table, strapped to the table, and they would have got their head eaten off. Right?
Maybe what they should have done, and I don't know, maybe put the girls to sleep or something, but then maybe the creature needs them to be alive and fearful. That's what I'm thinking.
What we got from the glimpse of the little world that they put him in, you have to give in to it. Because she didn't give, she said no, and the thing walked away. It didn't fight. She didn't fight the monster. The monster was like, oh shit, it didn't say yes, so it walked away.
Huh.
So I'm thinking is you have to submit to it.
Yeah, but who would willingly submit unless you're so exhausted that you just
there's that. I mean, think about it. She got put into a world where her mother was still alive.
Right.
So if she would have stayed there and gave in, then
because the creature kind of gives you fake,
a face reality.
Right, fake reality.
Yeah. So in that sense, I mean, you think about it. I mean, you could easily, depending on how fucked up your life is, you might give in. But man, immortality is a tricky fucking thing, dude.
Oh, it sure is. Because if you could be offered immortality, yeah, boy.
I mean, you look at vampirism, right? It's does anybody want to be a slave to drinking blood for the rest of their life? No. Does anybody want to have a weakness to sunlight? No. Nobody wants any of that shit. But fucking immortality, though? Oh, is it worth it? Oh.
Endless power,
endless power and shit. Ooh, that. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm that. I don't know if I'm a good enough person.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to say no, but I mean, when you're faced with that situation,
could you imagine? Could you imagine in a blink of an eye, right? Let's just say somebody tried to kill you or whatever, and let's just say you were in this chick's shoes and everything that happened to the chick, you were in there, right? And you did what you did, and then all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, every pain, every discomfort, your eyes, your eyes, your body, your innards, all that, everything that is wrong with you, instantly in a matter heals. Instantly heals itself, and you feel 100%. You are like the primest version of yourself in a blink of an eye. And the only thing and now your face you get it. You're like, oh, all I got to do is feed this thing, and I can keep it like this.
Yeah, it's a toughie.
Woo!
Because why would you want to go back to experiencing that type of pain and agony?
So it's a it's a mind fuck when you think about it, dude. Because it's I don't know if I'm a good enough person, man.
Because there's a lot of people in life that do crazy ass shit, and a lot of the times, I mean, they're guilty of what they do, but a lot of the time is, I don't know, because they get some sort of pleasure or whatever out of it.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that I wouldn't have any problem feeding to this thing.
Oh, I know.
It's like a lot of nasty sons of bitches. Right? You're just I would never do anything directly to them, right? Because I'm not that kind of person. I don't have it in me, right? But if I could trick you into a room and then walk away,
and then after that be healed and have endless powers or whatever it may be given.
No, I've spared the world of some scumbag.
You're ridding the world of filth. So
But then what kind of person does that make me, right? So it's it's such a fucked up. This movie had an ethical part to it, and that I enjoyed. Because it's like, would you? I don't know. And then think about it.
It's like Dexter, right? He would only kill people from the underworld, basically, right? The trashes of the trash.
Yeah, see, well, that's what Dexter would only kill other serial killers. That's what it was.
Other serial killers and shit.
So he was a serial killer against other serial killers, which is it's like a serial killer with a moral code, which was kind of clashy. You know, they made they brought that back, right?
No, I only seen the original, whatever that was.
The original series. No, they did a new one
with the same guy.
Yeah. Apparently, it's a sequel.
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
I think he's got kids or some shit.
Oh shit! No,
Which
I didn't know that.
I haven't watched it yet, but I would really hope that they explain the fucking ending of that series, because the ending of that series was fucking bullshit.
It was weird, yeah.
It was like a beard. But no, I do want. I eventually want to watch the new series of that.
Is that a streaming show? Or is that on TV?
No, it's on one of the streaming services. I want to say it's on Stars, because I think Dexter was a Stars, or was it Max? I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't remember. I remember that being like a Showtime show, wasn't it?
I think so. It's been like...
Oh, wait. So if that's Showtime, it would be on Paramount, right?
It should be on Paramount.
Yeah. So no, actually, no. I think that I think that's where that is. I think the new season's also on Paramount.
I know Dexter itself is on Paramount.
Yeah, so is the new one. I remember now. It is. The new one's on there too, because I have it in my watch list. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay.
But no, regardless, like this movie had a moral code to it, and I don't know. I didn't hate it. I definitely didn't hate it.
I disliked the movie more than I liked it, but I will say watch it because it's a separate niche.
I'm interested to see where our scores are going to be, because
I
think this is going to be a really interesting one. It's
going to be interesting. Yeah.
I think this movie has a lot of potential. That's what I think.
It has potential, and even this movie itself had potential if they would have concentrated more on the creature and the two bad guys. But they didn't. It was, mostly the girls.
I'm judging this movie off of the idea that there's going to be more.
Yeah.
If there's going to be no more to this, I'm going to be very disappointed in this.
I won't hold your breath, but yeah, be nice to get one.
I do not often ask for a prequel, because normally I don't like prequels, because you already know how the story's going to end. So I don't know. It's rare that I want to see a prequel. I always like to see the story continue. Unless the story's been finished, then maybe I can a prequel. But I don't like prequels during a current story.
Yeah, don't. Oh, okay. So you
like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, like all the shit that's going on with Game of Thrones right now. That's all prequels. And I'm like, I want the Jon Snow story.
Yeah.
I don't want the fucking House of the Dragon.
I think they should give us a new one, right? But just throw in pieces of the past. That way we understand how it got there. Yeah.
It don't even have to be a prequel. Just have it to where we get explained of the other world, the demon, all that bullshit.
Do you remember watching Lost?
Yeah.
The TV show? Great show, by the way. They did that. A lot of flashbacks with current events. Yeah. So you learned of the characters.
Except for the ending.
Except for the ending. Yeah.
Because
cheesy.
Whatever.
The show was amazing.
Show was a good show. That was a show I didn't want to watch, and you actually got me into that one. So.
Oh yeah, Lost is great.
But no, regardless, I think we should start getting into this now. So I'm curious to see where the scoring is going to go for this one. So let's get into that. Let's get into the scoring for this one. We're about to do if you're new, a first time watcher, I will go over what we're going to do. We are about to do the scoring on No One Gets Out Alive, and we are going to do a four base scoring. I can hear in the background, by the way. I'm going to give 4 base scoring. That is the story, acting, gore, and production. Okay. And then after that, we have a woke meter. Oh, and by the way, before those 4, they have a 1 through 5. If necessary, we do 1.5, 2.5, so forth and so on. If it's below a 1, we give it a noble pile. Above a 5, we give it a noble seal. Then we give it our woke score. The higher the number, which goes up to 10, the higher the score, the worse and more egregious the wokeness was. And then after that, we give our overall score, which goes from 1 to 10, also in betweens if necessary, noble pile and noble seal in effect. So with that said, we are going to go into the scoring of No One Gets Out Alive. What do you give for the story?
I gave it a 3.5, and I'll tell you why. There was, in my opinion, very no story till the end. I do like the end, the story when it got real. So I gave it a 3.5. I wanted more.
Holy shit. Okay. That's actually weird. I didn't think I thought you were going to be lower than me. I gave it a 2.5. And the reason I gave because here's the thing. I gave it I would actually have given, like, all right, if this movie didn't pick up when it did, I would have given this a 1.5.
Yeah, there was no story. No,
there was no story at all. Yeah. A very basic bitch story. The only reason I gave it a 2.5 is because of the potential of a story being in here.
Oh, you were kinder than you were less kinder than I was.
No, I was absolutely. I was actually mad. I was actually mad. Like I told you, like the first 40 minutes of this film, I was playing around with my new phone. I was still watching, don't get me wrong, but it was so boring.
Take that last 15 minutes and turn that into a movie. Just
like it was so boring, and the dog in me, they're so boring. I was hoping there was gonna be like a sex scene or something.
Hell yeah!
But nothing, not a damn thing. Like nothing was in. If this story did not get as interesting as it did when it did, that's the only reason I got a 2.5.
That score is because the reason I gave it that score is because when a story makes me intrigued, like it did at the end, like I want to know more about that box. I want to know.
Oh no, absolutely.
That in itself earns an extra point or two or whatever.
For me. That's why I got the 2.5 because it got my interest. Like if none of that happened, if you never got to see the monster, that made a big plus too. If you never got to see the monster,
there would have been no story.
None.
Yeah,
there'd have been none. Yeah. I understand what was going. Like the only story was a very basic story. We pretty much explained it. They got addicted. Well, the guy got addicted to the power that it was giving him, so he kept sacrificing people.
Oh, and before we continue, another thing that fucked me up about this movie, that there was no jump scare. A movie designed
and there was so many possibilities, like the one with the girl on the other side of the shower. The girl, the old lady standing behind her and shit, and all you see is a silhouette with the eyes and shit. Like, so many different ways it could have went.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they didn't really give that too much. But, yeah, I gave it a fairly straight down, very basic bitch fucking score, 2.5. So you were actually kinder than me on that one. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward. The acting. What do you give the scoring for the acting?
The acting wasn't bad, but it didn't blow me away either. I actually gave it right down to 2.5.
Wow, this is where we didn't. This is where we differ on that one. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. No, it wasn't exciting. No, it was just generic acting.
I know. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm a stickler for ambient based movies, right? Very atmospheric movies. Movies like, I know one of your big gripes is there wasn't a lot of action in it, right?
Right.
If a movie is very atmospheric and can drive a story based off its atmosphere, then I'm okay with that. And this movie had a lot of atmosphere to it, a lot of eeriness to it. It kind of felt like one of them old school 90s, 80s atmospheric horror movies, like gothic horror movies kind of deal. And I was okay with that. It was fine. So the acting went a long way. Everybody, I thought, did a good job. I didn't hate anybody's acting. Everybody played their part well. I actually believed in these characters. Like, I believed that they were real people. Like, they weren't just actors playing roles. I felt like these people were real people. So I like that when that's a thing. And whenever that's a thing, I got to applaud the acting. So I gave it a 4.5 on that.
Oh, right. You gave it a nice score.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it because I believed these characters. I believed their struggles. I believed what their desires were. When she grinned at the end and she's like, oh, shit, I like this. I felt it. I was like, oh, she's going to be a bad bitch, right? She's about to kill a bunch of motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
So
I thought this should have had a post scene, right?
Oh yeah,
with
no,
her
absolutely.
getting men to stay in the house. Yeah, that would have been cool.
I actually watched the credits in hopes that that was going to happen, and
Yeah, me too. Yeah, there was
yeah,
nothing.
there was
Yeah.
nothing there. So yeah, no, I gave it a 4.5. You go, so we're beat. We actually had a seesaw going on right now.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay, which is interesting. I thought this one right from the beginning. I said this one was going to be an interesting one for scoring. All right,
Oh,
so
yeah.
now moving on, we go into the Grimm Tales pro score, if you would say, the gore score. What do you give the gore score of this film?
It was basic gore. There was a little bit of, when he beat the guy to a bloody pulp,
Sure.
and the blood dripped under the door.
When the
and then
chick
at the end,
when the
when
chick
she
got thrown over the
smashed
edge.
his face in.
Well,
Yeah,
that and
was
the chick,
pretty-
you seen her
yeah.
head splat in the ground and shit.
Yeah.
There's
So
that,
it was there, but mind you, this type of movie is not designed to be over gory anyway.
Absolutely.
It's more of a suspense type of movie. So with that being said, it was done well. I give it a 3.5.
Okay. Again, I don't. This is one of those ones where I did give it a fairly lower score than you. But again, like you said, this is one of
done
those
well.
ones I'm giving it a semi pass on it because it didn't need it had the gore it needed to have. Could it have had a little bit more? Sure.
Maybe.
Sure, a little bit more. But it did not need over the top gore in it. So
Yeah.
this was not a gore slasher film. Slasher films are the type of movies that require a lot of gore.
It. Yeah,
This had the gore that it needed. So I'll give it a 2.5. It's a fairly it had fairly basic what you would expect from it. It was there. So yeah, 2.5 straight down the middle. Pretty average score with it.
Not bad.
And I wasn't mad about it in this situation because it had what it needed to have.
It's not that type of movie. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So now moving on to the production. What do you give the production score of this film?
That's the one I'm probably going to give the highest score. I like the lighting. I like the camera view. Even the soundtrack was pretty decent. I give it a 4.5.
You gave it a 4.5. Okay.
Yeah, that was my highest score. Yeah.
Okay. I gave it a 4. Yeah, same reasons like soundtrack. Like I said earlier, I love the atmosphere of the film. I love the lighting was done well. Even the CGI. I don't know if that thing was. You know what? This might have been one of those cases where the monster wasn't all CGI. Like it was definitely CGI when it was coming out the box.
Yeah, because it was compressed and
Yeah.
it, made himself big and everything.
But when it came out and it was there, that might have been practical.
I think so, because
it could
even
have
the
been.
feet look like human hands and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
didn't look,
definitely, or even if it could have been animatronic, for that matter.
Maybe.
But because I can say that was if that was all CGI, bravo! It was well done. The production was really well. The lighting was really well. Like the gore was when it was used, it was very well. Everything was good in production. It wasn't the greatest, but I definitely give it a 4. I think it deserves a 4. It was well done. Very good. So, with that said, let's move on to the woke meter. What do you give on the woke meter? How did it move for you?
It didn't, so I gave it a 1.
Okay, fair enough. You know what? I actually thought from the start that this was going to have it, and it landed up not.
Immigration, but nothing.
I was like, it's going to be one of them. And I actually, believe it or not, thought this movie was going to be dog shit when I went into it. Maybe that's the reason why I enjoyed this movie a little bit more than you, because I set my expectations so low for this film.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When I saw the trailer you sent me, the whole train thing, I thought it was going to be based on a whole train. So actually, I had high expectations.
You thought it was going to be like that. There's that movie Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah.
Please tell me you've
that.
seen Midnight Meat Train. You've seen that, right?
I saw the Midnight. It was vampires, right?
No. It was like a killer on a train.
I saw another one.
Oh,
no, I didn't see that.
Oh, we're doing that for a quest then. We're doing that for a quest.
Why not? Because I don't recall it. No.
It was a good one. I seen that years ago. But no, regardless, like I said, the trailer looked okay. The movie, this is one of those cases. The movie actually landed up being better than the trailer for me.
It was in a sense, but I thought what I thought was that the whole movie was going to be filmed in some sort of a train type system thing.
No, I knew that. From the trailer, I got the idea that it was going to be filmed in the house in the boarding home. I knew that because that was what the whole basis was. It was like she moves in and whatever. So I get that. But no, again, no wokeness. The needle didn't even move really. Like they had some mentions of like immigration and shit, but they never really went into it. So I applaud that. They did they said what they needed to talk about because yes, the character was an illegal immigrant, so they had to emphasize that. But they didn't beat you
that way. It wasn't.
But it didn't beat you over the head, reminding you that or they didn't go, oh, the reason why all this horrific things are happening to her is because she's an illegal immigrant. You know,
exactly.
And then America made her this way. Like none of that shit was in there. That would have made it woke, and none of it. Right. So bravo on that. I give it a 1. Which again, a post 2020 movie. Any movies that are post 2020 at this point, I will always applaud for not having wokeness in them.
They're very woke, yeah. So when they don't have it.
Bravo, especially for it being a Netflix film too, because Netflix is pretty egregious with that shit too. Not as egregious as Disney, but still. All right, so let's move on to the overall score of No One Gets Out Alive. What do you give the scoring for this film?
I gave it a solid 6.
Oh, wow.
I give it a solid 6. Like I said, the movie bored me through 85% of it. When it did pick up, it was a pretty good movie.
I actually thought you were going to give it a worse score than you are.
No. Too much dubbing. I mean, too much, what do you call that? Different language?
Yeah, it's too much subtitles.
Too much of that. I hate that. But it had potential. And that deserves, I think 6 is fair.
No, fair enough. I knew I was going to give you a better score than you did because by the start I was like, okay, I definitely gave it a higher score. But I thought I gave it a way higher score than you. Apparently not. I gave it a 7.5.
Oh, not much then.
No, not too much.
Not much.
So we're fairly at the we're like mine's is a little better than yours, but not entirely. So I mean, there it is. Okay. So I mean it's a fair even 7 at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
If we're gonna break it down between our two scores, it fares out at a 7. So fair enough. There we go. That is our take on No One Gets Out Alive, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We are absolutely done now at this point. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with all things Noble that we do here on the YouTube channel. Go to the website, noblegi.com. Check out our merch store. Get yourself some Grimm Tales merch or all the other merch as well. Get some shit. Yeah, like help us out. We got to pay them bills, guys. Right. Fucking make sure to get some merch. Go check out our full catalog of all shows, gaming or movie related or political too. We have political stuff as well. So check all that stuff out. It's all over there. The full schedule if you want to find out what's coming, what's going, what's being planned, what's going, what might be getting canceled, so forth and so on. It's all there. Everything and affiliations too. Okay, and we might be doing some crossovers as well, so keep that in mind, guys. Okay, keep that in mind. We got a lot of stuff coming, so I'm just saying, a lot of stuff on the horizon. Check out the website, noblegi.com, NOBULLGI.com, and that is our Friday take, guys. You're watching this on Friday. We hope you have a great weekend, great start to your weekend. Yeah,
have fun.
Enjoy it. Stay safe. Enjoy. Make sure to come join me because the next time is Sunday. You join me for game nights. I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing something, and that's where we play games and we talk shit. So come join me on Sunday, 6:55, 7 o'clock p.m. EST, either on the website or on the Twitch channel. Check it out, guys. It is going to be a hootie. I know. We might see some titty. I don't know. Video games, depending, okay? Well, actually, probably not, because Twitch would probably get really mad at me for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, would they allow it? But we don't know.
No, even games like Cyberpunk, which do have titties, I had to turn all that shit off when I did the stream of it. So
there's an option to do it. Okay.
Yeah, it's called streamer friendly mode.
Okay.
So I had to do that. There are certain games that I haven't played, like certain horror games that I didn't play, because they did have open titty and shit in it. Like that one horror movie I was talking about earlier, that where you go to hell, and there's titties and cocks and all kinds of shit flying around in that game, and I'm just like, yeah, I probably shouldn't play that game. So
and there's no streamer friendly.
No, there's no streamer.
Oh my god, what?
And I want to stream that one so bad, but I just have a feeling that I might get kicked. That one might actually get banned. I don't want to do that. But yeah, that is this Sunday, of course, 6:55, 7 o'clock p.m. EST over on the Twitch channel or website, depending on where you want to go. Make sure to check all that out, guys. We're going to get the hell out of here. Enjoy the rest of your night. I don't think we have anything else to cover, really.
No. Have a wonderful weekend, people.
Yeah. So with that said, guys, we're going to get the hell out of here. Be safe. Make sure to do the responsible things. Don't do what we do. Okay? Don't be us. We're not responsible. We do really horrible things, especially when it comes to Fridays. Okay,
that's it.
So don't do that. Be a responsible person.
A lot of pussy. You know, everything.
Everything's everywhere. We're rock star life.
Yep.
God, if that's not the biggest fucking lie ever.
Lie.
Straight fucking lying on that shit.
I gotta sleep most of the weekend. That's what I'm gonna do.
Fucking Friday comes around. It's just like, oh, it's time to. You know, most people are going out to the bars and shit, and I'm sitting here sleeping. So.
Yeah, with my dick in my hand.
Yeah. Well, I go a little further. Mine's might be in my wife's hand. But with that said, we're gonna get the hell out of here, guys.
My wife's hand, not his. Just to clarify.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, you know it's.
Yeah. Yeah, we're brothers. We're brothers.
Yeah, we try to keep things simple. You know.
Yeah. We share everything.
Yeah, I mean, you have one included. Well, I mean, that's your regret.
Yeah, exactly.
But with that said, guys, we're going to get the hell out of here, guys. It was great doing it, as always. Enjoy your weekend, and we're going to get the hell out of here. So, yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out, guys, and we will see you when we see you.
This will be the end of treason as we know it. This will be the death of anger, cause we won't show it. It isn't safe for me, give this a meaning. Do you wanna feel the rush when somebody's listening? Everybody's getting closer to the oven someday. I'll set you free, I promise. There's no time to